Hello and welcome. This is the video on chapter 22, two sample proportions and inference. Okay, let's get started. Again, from the last unit to the previous unit to that, and this unit, we have a confidence interval that we need to do some things to be able to solve. The first thing is to state the parameter, and then work on your assumptions. And remember, in this section, we have 4 of them that we have to worry about. So the samples are chosen randomly and were chosen independently of each other. Or the treatments were assigned randomly or individuals or subjects, or vice versa, meaning the treatments were assigned randomly to objects and then assigned to individuals. Both the samples need to be large. So again, you're looking for NP. Well, actually, since there's 2 sets of groups, you're going to have N1P1 and N2P2 and N1Q1 and N2Q2. And again, all of those have to be greater than or equal to 4. And the 10% rule, where both samples are less than 10% of the total population. So once you have your assumptions met, you calculate the interval. And lastly, once we have our answer, we write a statement about that interval in the context of the problem. Okay, so let's get started with what we're supposed to do. There's a formula for confidence interval. It should seem familiar to you. You have a statistic, which is a little new. It's, again, now that you have 2 of them, you subtract. And remember, from chapter 16, we could also add. So because of this, again, here's how it's set up. You subtract P1 and P2, plus or minus your critical value. Now, your critical value, again, from chapter 20 and chapter 19 are the same. So you have like a 95% confidence interval, or a confidence level, or a 98, or etc. So here's our Z star. And then our standard deviation of the statistic, and this is somewhat new. So it's PQ divided by N, and all these have a subscript of 1, meaning all of your P1, your Q1, and your N1 all deal with the first group. Your P2, your Q2, and your N2 all, again, deal with that group of data. So there we are. This is going to give us a confidence interval. So where you're going to get some value plus or minus another value. And again, don't forget, this is all square rooted, and then you multiply it by your critical value. So this whole value is going to be added and subtracted to that one. And again, just like before, we may be able to use p hat when p is not known. So what is this? This is your standard error. And this is your margin of error. So again, standard error, margin of error. All right, so as we get ready for going into example 1, I want to pause here and go on to the next video.